Sacramento Kings take on the Minnesota Timberwolves for the second time in a handful of nights tonight. First game didn't go well. Offense was a little flat. De'Aaron's a wild dude, man. You got to read his and when I say he's just really interesting. You can't tell him nothing about his game. Talking about he had fourth quarter Fox. I think he had 21 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Well, what did he end with? 28? So I think he had 7 3/4 and 21 in the final.
Right.
And his explanation was the shots weren't falling. He wasn't fazed by it at all. He was just I was getting the same shots. They just didn't go in. You can't tell him, be more aggressive. No, I was doing the same thing. He is so confident in his approach to basketball that it comes across sometimes as what is the word? It's just he's chill on every response.
Yeah.
You can't tell him something about his game is off or he should have done this or he should have done that. He recognizes all of it immediately. Oh, why weren't you more aggressive? No, I was. The shots just didn't fall. They fell in the fourth. And then he got more aggressive in the fourth and the shots just kept falling. He was trying to win that game for the Kings. But it was another kind of sluggish output for that Kings offense.
Do you agree with him that it was the same game? Because I think he took shots, but I don't know if it was the same game. I felt like there was a level of aggression in that fourth quarter that he didn't have in the first 3 quarters.
I'll ask this more as a poll question rather than a statement. When you watch De'Aaron Fox, do you feel like he took 6 shots, by the way, in the first half. The whole first half, he was 2 for 6. So let's
settle down.
Let's chill with that.
It wasn't the same.
But
it wasn't the same thing, sir.
No, it was not. Do we all know? Because I feel like I do. Do we all know when Fox is being aggressive? Can you see? Because it happens very regularly in the fourth quarter. You can see it happen sometimes in the first quarter. But to me, when De'Aaron wants to be aggressive, when De'Aaron wants to score, you can see it. It's very, very recognizable to me. And then when he wants to be passive or get other people involved or facilitate or whatever, you can see that as well. His aggression on the offensive end is very noticeable to me.
Yes.
Be it the first quarter, the fourth quarter, or any other quarter. You can see when he has it in his mind, I'm going to be aggressive on the offensive end, and I'm gonna start getting some points on the board for this team.
He took 13 shots in the fourth quarter.
Again, he took 6 in the first half. So De'Aaron, in fact, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, he took 9 shots in the first 3 quarters. He had 24 on the night, 24 shot attempts on the night. He took 9 in the first 3 quarters, 13 in the fourth. No, it's not the same. Now, look, I'm not here to disparage him in any way. As long as it results in a win, it didn't on Saturday. But who cares? He played well. I shouldn't say who cares, but this isn't a conversation to be like De'Aaron is lying and he's not. It's not that. It's just look, man. There is a fourth quarter Fox. And I think the questions of why consistently he isn't as aggressive during the game are valid. I think they're valid questions. Now, there could be a valid answer for that, a valid reason for that. That's plausible as well. But there is a fourth quarter Fox, not just with shots made and clutch points and all this other stuff, but the volume of the attempts, the level of aggression, like you just mentioned. I don't need the numbers to tell me what I'm seeing with my own eyes. He's attacking more aggressively. He's coming off that screen looking, shot hunting a lot more aggressively than he was in the first and second quarter. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why that is. That's kind of where we're at here when we see him play. Why is it like this? Like I said, there could be a plausible, very reasonable explanation for it, but There is a difference a lot of the times.
I really do think De'Aaron has a unique personality when it comes to basketball. He does not. I don't think he has an ego when it comes to this stuff. Not to say he doesn't want his points or all-star nods or recognition. He doesn't. I feel like he doesn't, and maybe this is to a detriment sometimes. He doesn't let his ego get in the way of his approach to the game. Like, what do we, he was 2 of 6 were the first half numbers. A couple don't fall. He's going to try to find someone who shot will, rather than okay. 6th didn't fall. 7th is going to. 8th is going to. Fine. The 11th is going to. He doesn't operate like that. He's like, all right, let me see if I can get Kevin going, Keegan going, Domas, whatever. And then I don't know why that switch always seems to flip for him in the fourth quarter. I'll take it. But, sometimes you hope it feels like they use that term, the ball has energy, right? I think that's a Doug Christie term. The ball has energy. Well, the ball has bad energy too, because you can regularly see everyone in the Kings uniform shooting poorly. And De'Aaron doesn't seem to be a guy, at least not in the first half, who's like, all right, everyone's missing. I'm just going to take over. I'm going to take over now. I'm not going to wait. He doesn't do that.
It's a gift and a curse.
Sure.
Because sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes if you're 2 of 6 and the team is down 7, I need you to get shot 7, 8, 9, and 10 up, because you're our best offensive player at this particular time, right? Like if somebody else is cooking, cool. But if you're the best option, I need you to have that aggression. And that's the last component, I think, of Fox's game that he's starting to figure out and he's got a master of. It's cool that you're fourth quarter Fox, and we don't ever want that to go nowhere. You're killing in the fourth quarter. It's okay to be first quarter Fox sometimes too. Like it's okay for that. Like it's not always best for the Sacramento Kings for Fox to have 4 points after the first quarter on 1 of 4 from the field. Sometimes they need that hot start, or in the second quarter, closing out a half, getting after it, getting busy, getting buckets, getting to the line. I think he's done a really good job of that this year, much better than in past years. But there's still elements of when, he's just a little passive to start the game, and I like to see him start off just as aggressive as he does finish it sometimes. Really, for me, if because we're having a conversation about it, when like me saying that's nitpicky, because in the grand scheme of things, I couldn't be happier with how he's played this season. He's done a phenomenal job. But we're having a conversation, and if there's one thing that I wish were a little different, I'd want more consistent aggression from De'Aaron Fox throughout the game.
And it's not even, I wasn't even trying to call into question his approach to the game.
Yeah, no, that's not.
I think what's so fascinating about De'Aaron is his reaction to his game. And it's like you go read his Q&A with Chris Biederman, and he's like, every answer is just this matter-of-fact answer. And I think Chris Biederman nailed it. He doesn't talk in cliches. Like, he's going to be pretty honest with you. They talked a lot about Monty McNair and the extension, and Chris mentioned the Vivek question, whether he was in contact with Vivek, and he didn't know. There wasn't like a follow-up. There wasn't a, no, I didn't need to be. I trusted. It was, no. What's the next question? And then they went on to talk more about Monty McNair and the synergy between the group and Mike Brown and his teammates and this road trip and what they need to do and how they need to get better. De'Aaron talked about getting better defensively on this 7-game road trip, how on the road, that ball may not fall the way that it does at the Golden One Center. And you're going to have to find ways to get an advantage on the defensive end. And man, that's not something that happened on Saturday. They gave up high 52% from the field and 46% from 3.
That's not, And you got D'Angelo Russell out there who
just kills you. Like D'Angelo is the death of this franchise.
Oh my gosh. The Kings gotta facilitate a trade to get D'Angelo Russell back into the Eastern Conference.
I think I hate that dude. Like, I think I legit hate D'Angelo Russell. I don't know why he does this to the Kings so regularly.